He's done it in acrylic, but you wanted to see it in gel. Greg Salo today is going to show you how to get the perfect Almondetto shape, sculpting in gel, right now.
We have been getting a lot of requests on how to shape gel perfectly. I am going to show you guys how to use Synergy Gel tubes to create the perfect Almondetto shape. Okay, so the first thing we want to be able to do is we want to be able to prep the natural nail. So it's really important that we push back our client's cuticles. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my electric file to 3000 RPMs. And with a sanding band, I'm going to tickle away the shine. So notice how I'm actually holding her hand with an overgrip position. What this is going to allow me to do, it's going to allow me to concentrate around this area, around the cuticle, nice and light. And then what I could do is feather away the rest of the shine, right, by going in, notice how I'm going in this direction. This is going to prevent the client from feeling any type of heat or discomfort. It's going to be a very, very gentle prep, which is going to set you up for the great application. I'm going to use swipe. Now, what I like to do is I like to take a manicure brush, I'll dust that off, and then whatever residue is on here, I could use the wipe just to get it nice and clean. I'm now going to take Protein Bond, and what we're going to do is we're going to apply 2 coats to the surface of the nail. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply 1 coat on all 10. As soon as you're finished applying 1 coat on all 10, what I'd like you to do is go back and apply 1 more even coat, just like this, and that is going to be the perfect preparation. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to establish a great foundation, and there is no better foundation than using the Synergy base. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the base gel, and I'm going to use my brush. And what I have a tile here so that, as you can see, if I pick up too much, instead of using a wipe, what I could do is I could just use my brush and wipe it on the towel. This is a great way for getting excess off your brush and keeping it nice and smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a nice even coat. As you can see, I have a nice even amount on the tip of the brush. Notice how I'm going to brush it from cuticle to free edge with a really, really nice even pressure. So what I'll do is I'll set it down, I'll kind of guide it as close to the cuticle and then lightly pull through. And what you're going to do is you're going to do this on all 5 fingers on this hand. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get this inside the light. And we have to make sure that we establish a great cure. So my recommendation is keep it inside the light as long as it takes you to do the other hand. As soon as you're doing the other hand, you're going to be able to get that hand inside and then continue working by using the precision applicators. Now a minimum of 30 seconds has gone by, so that is perfect for me to continue since I'm only working on 1 finger. You will notice, again, when you see the surface, it looks wet, but I want to be able to show you guys something. Take a look with a dry brush, it's really, really tacky. I'm not going to wipe it. You never are going to wipe off the dispersion layer as you are building your layers. So what we want to be able to do in order for us to establish a great shape, so it's going to lead to easy filing, we need to build the free edge first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Young Nails nail forms, I'm going to pre-pinch it, and as you can see, I have it in a really nice point. This is going to set me up so that I could establish the same look that she has on the other fingers. Now what I want to be able to do, as soon as I get the form on, I don't want to look at the way the finger is. What I have to do in order to make sure that the nail is going to be straight, I have to be able to look at her knuckle, right? I want to be able to have this go straight out with her finger. So if you have a finger that's slightly tilted, remember, don't work on the finger because when the client looks at it, it's going to look like the finger is pointed in a different direction. If it's slightly out to the, which in this case, just a hair to the left, I decided to make a slight adjustment so that I could follow the shape of her nice fingers, okay? So once we have the form on, and as you can see here, I have it touching just underneath the very, very center of her nail. I'm not focused in her corners. It's not important. We want to be able to do is we want to be able to establish that so that when we use our precision applicator, it's going to be really easy for us to build the free edge up to the natural nail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to untwist this, and then I can squeeze out onto the nail. So what you're going to notice is I'm going to be able to bring it all the way to this corner. I'm going to be able to bring it all the way to this corner. And then once I have it connected to the corners, I continue to squeeze a really, really nice amount all the way out into the nail. So I'm using as you guys can see, I have a really, really pretty glitter on here. This is our cover blush. It's absolutely beautiful. So notice as I bring it out onto the nail, I'm trying to replicate the shape. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to get a really, really nice kind of stiletto shape with the length, but I want to be able to soften the tip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it out as far onto the form as I possibly can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get this inside the light for a minimum of 30 seconds. Now, for all of you guys out there that are wondering, when is the right time to pinch? Okay, so look, that is literally 9 seconds. I want to be able to show you something. There's a level of flexibility that you have where I'm going to be able to like literally squeeze the tip. I don't want to squeeze too hard, but there's just enough flexibility here, right, to bend it, right, so that I can get a really, really narrow pinch. I'm going to flash it back inside the light. Your window is literally 9 seconds. Okay, so if you do have the patience, you want to make them look tighter, my suggestion is pinch the free edge. If you build the whole entire nail, it's going to be really, really hard to pinch. Okay, so enough time has gone by. I want to be able to show you something. If I take this part of the magic wand and I slide it underneath, and I slide it underneath this side, you're going to notice that I'm going to be able to remove the form, okay? And the reason why I like to do that is it takes away the opacity from the blue, and then whatever I build over the top, I'm gonna get a really, really good cure. Okay, so what I wanna be able to do is I wanna take a look at this. You can see from my sides, I have it really well built out on this side as well. As you can see right here, I don't have it connected to the side, but that's okay because this is gonna come all the way down and fill that space in to right there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to build this again in what I call a cool formation. Now, it's not because it looks cool. I'm building it in a formation where I'm going to be able to establish a nice foundation so that when she cures it inside the light, there's no heat at all. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and squeeze this out onto the nail, and you're going to notice, like once I squeeze enough, I could actually use the tip of the precision applicator to lightly pillow it to the very, very back. Okay, now I want to be able to show you guys something. If at any point, like right there in the corner, I accidentally touched, what I'm going to be able to do is just use my brush, as you can see, and touch that up. There's no reason for me to cure it while it's there. So again, I built that out. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze more. And what I wanna be able to do at this point is I wanna be able to establish a really, really nice foundation all the way through. It doesn't have to be perfect in shape. All I'm trying to do is squeeze a nice amount all the way to the very, very end. I wanna bring it all the way to the end, and again, use the nozzle to fill in any loose space that I have. If there are areas where I find that are really hard for me to maneuver, what I could do is I could take the tip of my brush, as you can see right here, and I could just lightly touch the areas. You can see how well it fills that corner, okay? Perfect. Okay, now here's the thing. I don't want my client to feel any type of heat at all. I'm gonna get it inside and I'm gonna cure it in the low heat mode. Why is this important? Now, not everybody is sensitive, but there's a handful of people that are really sensitive to how fast the gel cures. If they are, once you hit this, it's gonna go through a 59-second cycle of the power getting basically stronger. Starts off low, goes to medium, ends up high. So once it gets to full, you have to keep it in for at least 30 more seconds so that you get the right cure, okay? So again, you're rotating as you are working. That is the most important thing. You're not gonna do one finger and then wait. You're gonna do a couple fingers, get it inside the light, and then work on these two. As soon as you're done doing these two, rotate. And again, you can do your thumbs together. That way you can continue to move and get the service done quickly. Okay, so what I wanna be able to do at this point, as you can see, I built it all out, but I need a little bit more right in through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze a nice healthy amount right kind of where the upper arch is. I don't want to drag too much all over the place. I'm gonna kind of leave the thickness that I have in that area. And then what I like to do with my gel brush is I'm just gonna kind of smooth out. I'm not gonna touch the surface. All I'm gonna kind of do is just move the gel around into the areas that I need so that I have basically a really nice blend, okay? And as you can see, I have a really well-shaped gel nail. Let's go ahead and finish this off with a 60-second full power cure. And then we're gonna wipe it with swipe and file it into perfection. Okay, now since it has fully cured, I'm going to take swipe and I'm going to remove the dispersion layer from the surface. That's gonna take off all the tackiness so that you're gonna be able to file this into perfection. It's really important before you start to file that you take your hand file and you take the edges down just like this. What that is going to do, it's going to prevent you from cutting your client. I need to make sure that I am trying to get them into these shapes right here. So what I have to be able to do is I have to be able to get it down, swivel down, so it's nice and tight at the front. I'm doing the same thing on the opposite side to match. Once I get it down to the front, I could lightly round off the tip, and what this is going to do, it's going to give me great shape on both sides. Now to get underneath absolutely perfect, what I want to be able to do is turn the hand to the side. If there are any low points, like you can see right here, I need to start from the lowest point and I need to file in. Start from the lowest point and I need to file until my hand file reaches and touches the whole entire side. I want to be able to do the same thing on the opposite side. So as you can see here, the lowest point is right there. And what I want to be able to do is I want to constantly keep connection and I need to file until the whole entire hand file touches, as you can see, nice and even and straight all the way to that point. Now all we have to do is file this into shape using the I-formation roadmap. I'm going to use my safety bit. I'm going to set this around 10,000 RPMs. Now what I want to be able to do, as you can see, is I want to be able to start from the back and I want to be able to file in a really, really nice upper arch. And you can see how everything is starting to blend in. I'm going to look down the barrel of the nail and I want to come in one direction all the way to the very, very front of the nail. I don't want to go side to side. This way the barrel does not slip, okay? Then I want to finalize it by going around the cuticle area, and I don't need a lot of pressure. Remember, we are filing gel. And then once you're done filing the upper arch, the C-curve, and the cuticle area, all I have to do is lightly come in one direction all the way to the front of the nail so that it blends in perfect. This is going to leave me with a very light amount of hand filing and finishing. Just go ahead and dust that off. And we're gonna do all our detailing. One of the things I like to do is I like to come around the cuticle area very, very gentle. I'm gonna be able to follow that all the way down into the body of the nail. And you notice at this point, I'm not being super aggressive with my filing. Again, I'm only using it as a way to shape. I'm going to turn my hand this way so I can see my client profile. And what I want to be able to do from here is I just want to be able to shape it so that it looks nice and even on the sides. Then you can see I take my hand file and kind of float the file down the barrel so that it makes it even from side to side. Once we're done file finishing, I'm going to use Protein Bond over the surface and finish it with your top coat of choice. I hope this helps all of you guys who use gel a lot to be able to sculpt a really nice Almondetto shape. Now just remember, if you want to be able to perform other shapes, it is exactly like acrylic. All the acrylic videos that we have are going to be able to guide you guys to perfect shaping when using gel.